Hello, listeners, and welcome to the League of Super Zeros. In the house, we got your boy HJ4521.
My name
You
is
guys, yes,
my name is Cyborg.
I'm Batman.
Ben, and the Tesla man is once again gone because no, not gonna no, we're just gonna skip over him. Gone.
Yeah.
For a second week in a row.
Non-existent.
And this week's topic is just going to be all about Spider-Man. So if you haven't seen, I guess we can do like a general review before we go into all the spoilery topics we have, because we have a lot of topics to talk about today. So you guys want to start off, give your opinions on the movie, what you thought about it in general, maybe do out of like out of 10 or something like that. You guys wanna all right, Noah, Batman, what'd you think of the movie Spider-Man Far From Home?
Well, personally, I think it was the best Spider-Man movie because for the longest time I held the statement that The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was the best Spider-Man movie until I saw this. So I probably have to give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. So was Endgame like a 10 out of 10 for you then? Or 9 out of 10 like comparing Spider-Man movies or Marvel movies in general?
Well, comparing Spider-Man movies.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Cyborg, what do you think?
I mean, I haven't seen all of the Spider-Man movies, of course, but in general, this is probably my favorite I've seen, because the only other ones I've seen are The Amazing Spider-Man 3. So, wait, but
It's normal Spider-Man 3?
no,
There
the
is no
fucking
Amazing
the newest Amazing Spider-Man. That's what I
Amazing
meant.
Spider-Man 2.
Yes, sorry. I'm retarded. But I can't even say that on stream. But whoopsie, breaking TOS.
Okay.
But what is it? No, I think it's pretty good. You know, it was really good. High 8s, no, low 9. You know.
Yeah. It's also my favorite Spider-Man movie. Wow, look at that. Look at this agreement we have.
Wow.
But yeah, it's my favorite. I liked it a lot more than Homecoming, just because it seemed like Homecoming was a very generic Marvel movie. Like, it had its own feel for sure, but I just think that this movie sets itself apart, mostly just because of Mysterio, who was my favorite part of the movie. And I just think it's well and all, so I'm gonna give this like uh, yeah, 9 out of 10. Fine with that. Seems pretty good.
Yep. All right. First thing.
Yeah, yes, let's get into spinning the wheel. So if you haven't seen the movie, skip podcast.
Don't even bother. Pete and MJ's relationship.
All right. So in the movie, Peter and MJ are traveling the world essentially, and Peter has this plan at the beginning of the movie, like a 6-step plan to hook up with her. And it doesn't go as you would expect. Obviously, there's a lot of hiccups in it, and it doesn't really work out for the best. Well, I guess it does turn out pretty well for them. They get together in the end. They have their kiss on screen. Nice little romantic moment. But he has this plan throughout the whole thing. But I'd say transitioning into the third act of the movie, the two of them are on a bridge, and Peter is about to like reveal his feelings for her. But then she's like, "I know you're Spider-Man," and he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, I know you're Spider-Man. I've been watching you." And he's like, "Is that the only reason you were watching me? Because you thought I was Spider-Man?" And she's like, "Yeah, why else would I be watching you?" And he gets pretty offended. He's about to walk away, but then she reveals like a holograph projector she stole from one of the villain's drone things, which we'll discuss. And so the two of them kind of have to cut the conversation short, but they talk about it later, and she reveals, "Hey, I was lying. I really was into you, not just because you're Spider-Man. But that was one reason. And like, I really like you." And then they kiss, and it's all nice. And I just, in the moment, was like, oh, because this version of MJ, she's a lot different from pretty much every other MJ we've had in the movies. Like, they didn't have one in the Amazing Spider-Man, but the two that we've seen in like a big fashion, the Spider-Man PS4 game and the Spider-Man movies, the Raimi series.
Mhm.
All of them are they're a lot different in the fact that mostly is age is the biggest difference. This MJ is high school, and then the other two MJs were both like mid-20s. Like Mary Jane in the Spider-Man video game is supposed to be working a journalist job, and then Spider-Man's girlfriend in the Raimi movies, Mary Jane Watson is supposed to be working. I believe she's at a college actually,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but so it's a lot different, and it's just I don't know. This relationship, it feels I don't know. I'm not really one for like love stories in general, but I guess it was okay.
Mhm.
Your guys' thoughts? What you think? How'd you think it went?
I think most of the stuff in there is pretty convincing. To be honest, it's like I get where they're coming, what they were doing with like the whole like MJ thing, like not really with like
His
what on
plan
the
or the relationship?
it.
Peter's plan or the
Well, no,
relationship?
the relationship. Well, I mean like
The relationship.
when they're on the bridge, right? And she explains like, "Oh, it wasn't just I thought you were Spider-Man. That's the only reason I was following you." I get why they did that. Is because it's supposed to be like sort of like a small. What is it? It's like
That's true. That's
yeah.
also true.
It's supposed to be a small thing where it's just like fucking what was it? It's supposed to like build a little bit more character in MG. It's supposed to be like this is what you know, just a small thing like that.
Mhm.
It's supposed to build more.
Batman, what did you think?
Um. Well, for the plot or story, I guess that they had, the his relationship with MJ works because even in the comics, in the end, he's always gonna end up with MJ no matter what.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Because even in high school, when he's dating Gwen Stacy, he's always gonna end up with MJ.
MJ's still
And
around in the background.
that's like his lowest link, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Mhm.
always gonna end up with that person, and they did. I got to admit, I think they did a good job with it. They did a better job with it than the Raimi series. I don't know what. I mean, I haven't seen the Raimi series in a long time, but they did. I just thought they did a really good job with it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Uh, I guess next topic then.
Um, yeah, sure thing. 15 more to go.
Well, that one didn't take too long. What's the next one?
Spider-Man, the new Iron Man.
All right. So in this movie, there are quite a bit of references, not only to Iron Man, but his legacy in particular. Just that he pretty much meant for Peter to be his replacement. He gives him the special E.D.I.T.H glasses that allow him to control all of Tony's tech, and he also gives what does he do? He also gives Peter the Iron Spider suit, which really functions as Peter's Iron Man suit pretty much. It's like the same nanotech. It's the same Iron Man style, the
Mhm.
golden plating with the blue highlights. And in this movie, Iron Spider, yeah, I agree with that. And in the movies, it's just not the movie version. Uh, the comic version, Civil War version is pretty sweet from the comics. But anyway, so I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
I
I
th-
like the color scheme of the Iron
The
Spider better
color
in the
scheme
movie.
of the Iron Spider suit and Stark's legacy, right? So Tony Stark pretty much intended for him to be the new Iron Man, and the whole movie he's dealing with this confliction on whether or not to be he wants to be himself or if he wants to be who Tony wanted him to be or who Nick Fury wants him to be. And in the end, he just decides to be him. He decides to be Spider-Man. It's a good message to send. Just be yourself.
Mhm.
But since Iron Man's pretty much his mentor, and Iron Man is also the cause of the main villain's motivations, pretty much, just like Vulture in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Mhm.
he also plays a big part in the movie's plot, even if he's not in the movie.
Yeah.
What did you guys think?
Um, hmm. I think that I like how they build Spider-Man's character through the movie. You know, they sort of start him off as like this, like, I guess, dimwit, to be honest, like near the beginning, and near the end, it's sort of just like he evolves into more of a decent character who technically would be able to take Iron Man's legacy. But I like the fact that he evolved into his own character, you know, and not just
He
you know,
became his own Spider-Man.
yeah, he didn't become a carbon copy of Iron Man.
Yeah.
Instead, like he has his own shit, and it's not just like Tony Stark Part 2. You know.
I agree. That's a good point. Batman?
Um, I mean, I like how they were kind of like be like, oh, hey, take up the mantle of Iron Man, and Spider Man's just like, no, because I'm not. I mean, especially being like an A-list hero in the Marvel universe, uh, Spider-Man, even Spider-Man taking up the mantle of Iron Man is kind of ridiculous because it's like there's only one Iron Man, that's Tony Stark. Like,
Yeah.
and that was the problem with Riri Williams, if you will, uh, which they're doing, I guess. But
She tried.
anyways,
Well, he
but
came back, but they basically tried to replace him and kept him as like a hologram, pretty much.
yeah. But I mean, I kind of like it because I mean, it would make the most sense for Spider-Man to become the next Iron Man because he already has the suit for it. He it's kind of like a Ted Kord and Jaime Reyes thing, where like, oh, you're supposed to become the new Blue Beetle. Like, I'm gonna train you. That's kind of what it was like with Spider-Man. Like, hey, you're gonna become the next Iron Man.
Yeah.
And I just kind of came up with something on the thought on fly right now that could
Sure.
be topic in the next podcast. But Iron Man's not dead. Uh,
What do you mean?
well, since we have the scrolls now,
Oh, a scroll could just take on like Iron Man and pretend to
or that was
be
the
him.
scroll that died.
Oh, there's an insane theory. Scroll.
Nick Fury. Oh, wait, that's a different topic.
Yeah, it's a different topic. Okay.
We'll
Yep.
get into that.
I suppose that's it then. Next topic.
Mm-hmm. MCU callbacks.
All right.
The blip.
The blip.
That is on there. We'll get to that.
Just
All
call
right.
it the
So
snap.
MCU callbacks. A lot of callbacks in this movie. Main villain. Let's go through some of them. You guys go first.
Okay, can
Remember
we
any
talk about the
callbacks from
Whitney Houston thing at the beginning?
what? What did you see?
You remember at the beginning when they started playing that one Whitney Houston song and showing all the pictures of the people who died in Endgame?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will always love you, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have like this like 3 pictures of Iron Man that were in the first movie of him just being like a of him just being like an arms dealer. And they have the picture of Captain America, who's just like an old guy now, but the world doesn't know it, so it's just Captain America like posing in front of something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have like just a picture of Black Widow at the one court case she was in and went at the end of Winter Soldier. And then they have like a super grainy picture of Vision at the airport. Even though like no one knew who he was. It's like he had no presence in the universe.
He's still
He
part
really
of it,
didn't.
though.
He was only in for like 3 movies.
He only really was, yeah. Avengers, Age of Ultron, Civil War, and then Infinity War.
He was still a vital character, technically.
Technically, because he had the Mind Stone, but that's it.
Yeah.
And then, I just came up with one. So all the bad guys are just people Tony Stark has screwed over in his company.
Mm-hmm.
Mysterio, he stole the tech from, and we'll get to his motivation, but it's pretty entertaining. Mysterio's main tech lackey is a guy that Obadiah Stane yelled at in the first Iron Man movie for not being able to build the arc reactors as small as he wanted it to.
Mm.
There were like 3 others, but I don't really remember their specifics. You remember anything specific, Wolf?
Anything
Not really.
specific? Not really, no.
Oh yeah, there's there were a lot more than I expected, honestly. And of course, there's a ton of Iron Man references, just like his picture, his face,
Everywhere.
plastered everywhere. Yeah, in the movie.
Didn't matter where they were, literally it was everywhere.
Peter like sees his face in the clouds or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But can we just talk about that one callback to the Raimi series with J. Jonah Jameson for a second?
Oh my god, yes.
So the very first post-credit scene is J. Jonah Jameson, but it's J.K. Simmons as like a bald guy with ridiculous sideburns, like an Alex Jones on an Alex Jones style webcam show.
He's amazing.
Pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's great that they brought him back for the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since the importance that scene plays in the movie, which we will also get to.
Right.
All right, next topic.
Okay.
When you guys start this one off, I gotta delete the topics we've already gone through.
Shit.
What topic did we get?
Your friendly globe-trotting Spider-Man.
All right, this one's on there because Spider-Man again is not swinging around in New York like Spider-Man should. He's swinging around Venice and Prague and London. Because for some reason they won't let him swing around in New York. Just a little annoying thing that bothers me because there's so much cool stuff he can do in New York. Like the buildings are just a lot taller than they are anywhere else. Which is kind of the fun part of swinging around New York. But in like Prague, what?
I kind of like him being in a different area since like every Marvel movie except for like Thor is set in New York.
Yeah, I guess you're true. All the Avengers movies feature New York. All the Avengers movies feature New York. That's what I should say.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know because Age of Ultron was Sokovia.
Yeah, but the Avengers headquarters is in New York, and they go there for a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of like him traveling the world because I mean, even in the comics, like when there's like an Omega Crisis, they kind of just sort of go over the world, you know, do whatever they have to do, you know. So it's kind of cool seeing them in other countries. Even like in Endgame, they didn't exactly state where they were at. I just assuming they were in New York.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or even Infinity War, they didn't state where they were at either.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bother you, Wolf, or anything? Anything like annoying? Or you just didn't really care?
No, not really. They still were able to utilize him a lot, at least in the other areas.
Yeah.
Somewhat. They didn't have him doing like a shit ton of action, to be honest, other than like the Night Monkey shit, you know. But
Yeah.
it wasn't. There wasn't a whole lot of like. To be honest, in like the fight scenes with like the elementals, big air quotes, they didn't really utilize him a lot because it was just a lot of like flashing shit with Mysterio. Like except for the whole holding up the tower thing for 5 seconds, even though it still fell down.
I thought that was pretty fun. Or not fun, but just like the fact that they didn't really explain Mysterio's like powers or abilities at all because he never really had any. It's just like green special effects. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Next, I guess.
Yeah.
Mysterio has a point.
All right. Two things about this. He has two good points, though. First of all, Mysterio invents BARF, biometric augmented reality something, whatever it stands for. He invents it. Mysterio's like, I invented uh, a revolutionary technology, and then he names it BARF and uses it for therapy.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I understand, dude. You put your life's work into this invention. he invents like the best virtual reality ever, pretty much. 3D movies, actual 3D movies, because that's how it's shown off in Civil War, and there's actually a flashback to Civil War.
Really?
Right.
Was there? Did they
Yeah,
utilize
that's where
it
that
there?
scene is from.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and then the second thing, it's binarily augmented retro framing. Geez, that was way off. Okay.
Lol.
Yeah. But then, so the thing about the other point I have is his like fake backstory that Mysterio makes is he's from another Earth where the elementals have destroyed it, and now they're here on this Earth trying to destroy it. Just randomly. The elementals they're actual villains from the Marvel comics, but they're not in the movies. They're holographic projections that Mysterio makes and pretends to fight.
Yeah.
So they're fake. And his other point is, since they're from another universe, it's like there's another Easter egg to the comics where they mention that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is Earth 616, which is the comic Earth. It's not. It's Earth 199999. So 1 1 and then 5 nines.
Wow.
Yeah. And then that's a nice little Easter egg to the comics. But so then his other point is he's talking to his lackeys after they like steal the drone technology, which we'll also get to later. So much stuff we'll get to later. And he's like, I can't believe they bought that multiverse crap. People will believe anything after the snap. And I'm like, Mysterio's got a point. He's not wrong. And honestly, I kind of feel like even normal Nick Fury and Maria Hill would have believed him. Because also, as we'll get to, Nick Fury and Maria Hill are not themselves.
Right.
You guys think Mysterio had a point?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it wasn't the best motive.
Like, no, it's not a reason to like go and try and murder Spider-Man or whatever. But
I mean, I mean, as a character, I think he was different from his comic version, and it was cool.
Oh, a lot more so. In the comics, he's just washed up Hollywood special effects artist who just decides to rob banks after he gets fired with his amazing special effects. That's it.
Is that really what Mysterio is?
That's really what Mysterio is.
I like the fact that they put a lot more time into developing like a better character here.
Oh yeah, it's a lot better in the MCU. I like it way more.
It's like, I mean, he actually came up with like a lot more decent technology than he was good at special effects.
Doesn't he like use gas or something?
No, he is not Scarecrow. He uses no Scarecrow tech. He is not like Scarecrow at all. He doesn't use fear gas. He doesn't have powers. Literally, all he has are special effects. What?
I thought he had like an illusion gas of some sort.
No. In the Ultimate Universe, he has actual superpowers, but he's an actual magic user in the Ultimate Universe, whereas in the Marvel comic universe, he's just a guy, and then in the MCU, he's also just a guy, but with a special effects team. That's it.
It's a guy with a fishbowl.
Again with the what?
A guy with a fishbowl.
A guy with a fishbowl.
Yep.
I'm surprised. I like the costume. The costume is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Both.
The movie did better because, villains in comics were not created that great back when they were first coming out.
Yeah, some of their costumes, like even now, still need a revamp.
I mean, because like look at like some of Batman's villains, for example, the Penny Plunderer. Like really,
Penny Plunderer.
And even
he
Spider-Man
only steals pennies.
Yeah, literally, even Spider-Man has some ridiculous villains like Hammerhead.
Yeah, Hammerhead is pretty.
It's just like in the comics. I mean, the Golden Age was a weird time.
Golden Age of comics wasn't so golden. All right, next topic.
Next topic, sure thing.
Next.
Give me 1 second. All right, let's see what we got here.
Excuse you.
Edith.
E.D.I.T.H. All right. So E.D.I.T.H. in the movie stands for even in death. Or
I'm
no,
a
I am a
it's
hero.
hero.
Even in
even dead.
death.
I'm a hero.
Even dead, I'm a
Even,
hero.
even dead. I'm a hero. Is so just speaking without the fact that Tony Stark is just apparently still makes arms and weapons, even though he said he would stop that. He has like a spy satellite in orbit with just a few hundred killer drones. But putting that aside, Edith appears to be contained within a pair of glasses and a Stark network of some sorts, and can control all of Tony Stark's technology
Yeah.
pretty much without like any restrictions. You can just like order random airstrikes on your classmate if you care to.
Yeah.
It's a fun scene. But and so the villain Mysterio's just trying to get this whole thing, trying to get Edith because he needs it to pull off his like Avengers level threat so that the world will see him as a hero. And again, I'll get to this, but that's a part of his villainous motivation
Mm-hmm.
and the way that Tony Stark plays into this movie. What do you guys think of the Edith tech?
Well, it was a good it's a good concept because they put all of like a bunch of different technologies that like Stark Industries has had. So like they put the barf and all like the weaponized drones all together. I think that's a neat concept, right? And I think that like after Mysterio gets it, I love the utilization of like everything that he does, especially like the first encounter with him, like after he gets the drones.
Oh yeah, where he like
He
pretty
just
much does a
fucks.
scarecrow scene
He
in
just
Spider-Man.
he just fucks with Spider-Man for like 10 minutes straight. It's amazing.
It
I
is.
loved that whole scene.
That's really it's some of the effects are a little like but they look awesome just because the scene itself is good.
And I like how he faked out Spider-Man twice.
Oh yeah.
It was first with the headquarters, and then the second one where he shot himself.
First he makes a fake Nick Fury, who he then fakes out. It's like Inception. He incepts Nick Fury twice. First he makes a fake version of Nick Fury that pretends to be real.
Uh-huh.
Then it turns out that Nick Fury shoots Mysterio, but that's also not real.
It's double
And
fake.
it's amazing. Yeah.
And then he just gets hit by a train.
I should have that on a topic just real quick. Let's talk about this real quick. Past that point where Mysterio just has access to do pretty much anything he wants because Spider-Man can't tell what's real and what's not real is amazing. It's just incredible. And I even like felt the paranoia that Peter was feeling just because Tom Holland is such a good actor. And you can tell like he doesn't know what's real and what's not real after he gets tricked onto train tracks and then hit by a subway car.
I think that was a bullet train, actually.
A bullet train. Something.
Bullet train going full speed. May I say 200 miles per hour. Just
Like,
gets casually
Spider-Man's
hit
not
by
dead, but
that.
he should be dead. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking amazing.
Any thoughts, Batman? How does Mysterio fare against the villainous Scarecrow?
I mean, being a Batman fan and having Scarecrow be like my favorite villain like ever. Uh, I mean, it's cool because I kind of, especially with like the drones and stuff, I like their because I kind of feel like it was just a big reference to Scarecrow and stuff like that. With like the illusions, he's kind of scared, doesn't know what's going on. That's exactly what Scarecrow does with his fear toxin. Gets in your mind, creates these illusions, that are probably gonna kill you, like Mysterio does in the movie. But
he nearly kills Peter. Nearly.
Nearly.
yeah, I mean, throws him into a train.
That's why villains should just use guns.
Oh my
Like
god.
Mysterio almost did. He almost shot Peter, but then he missed.
Even with like Edith, I kind of feel like that was kind of a nod to OMAC.
That's
You guys don't
OMAC.
know what OMAC was a satellite launched into space by Bruce Wayne to detect any threats on Earth and would shoot down a drone to go handle it.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly like Edith.
Yeah. So it kind of gave me that feel, and I thought that was kind of cool. How I kind of feel like they were kind of referencing it a little bit with that, being like, you know, hey, this is if I mean, obviously the people who know it, the general public that watches the MCU probably doesn't, but
I didn't know what it is, and I'm
I
kind of
mean,
deep into that.
but no, I like the kind of how they made him a little bit more like Scarecrow, which I always thought Mysterio was like. I always thought he was Marvel's Scarecrow.
He pretty much is. It seems like it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Marvel has their own Scarecrow as a Ghost Rider villain.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Next topic then.
Yeah, I guess. One thing I do want to say about Edith real quick is the satellite. If there's only one satellite housing all the drones, how are they able to call the drones in anywhere?
Oh, that's true. Because if it's like on the other side of the world, there's
Yeah.
still it can't like launch. Oh wait, it's rocket powered, and then the drones deploy once they get to the surface. That's how.
I'm not sure. What? Yeah. Yep. All right. Next. The Sinister Six.
All right. This is not gonna probably not gonna happen in Spider-Man Coming Home or whatever the third movie's gonna be called. But Mysterio,
Spider-Man staying homesick.
Spider-Man Homesick.
Spider-Man Homesick.
Spider-Man homesick. It just progressively gets worse. Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homesick, Spider-Man Dead.
Homeless.
Spider-Man
That's what we're
homeless.
doing.
Oh no, it's Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. Okay, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homesick, Spider-Man Homeless, Spider-Man Dead.
Yeah.
Well, the zombies.
Okay. Well, so the Sinister Six is something that's not going to happen because in this movie, I really think this was a dumb decision. They kill off. They have Mysterio be killed off with like a ricocheting bullet. Though even that could have been faked. Who knows? Which is what I really hope happened. But so they have the Scorpion, who was an Easter egg at the, not an Easter egg. He was a guy at the end credit scene of Spider-Man: Homecoming. They had Vulture, the main villain of Spider-Man: Homecoming, and now they have Mysterio. So that's 3 out of 6 if they wanted to do a Sinister Six movie. Which I just really need. I feel like they could make an amazing Sinister Six movie, and like Sony wanted to so badly with Amazing Spider-Man 3, but Amazing Spider-Man 2 flopped and it's very bad.
But they were going to throw in the Green Goblin with Amazing Spider-Man 3, though.
I know.
Oh, wait, Green Goblin is part of the Sinister Six.
Yeah, a Sinister Six movie would be really awesome.
I don't know how they'd
mean,
be able to do that.
They would have to establish 3 new characters in the next Spider-Man movie.
Plus, like, Mysterio's, unless he faked his death, he's completely dead.
Then they have to have 4 characters. So I don't see them doing that. Or who knows? Let's do Abomination, Scorpion, Vulture, Ghost Rider. He can be in the Sinister Six. Who cares? Uncle Ben's Ghost, and Venom. There you go.
No way in hell for Spider-Man to even beat that team. You throw in Ghost Rider, he's done.
Abomination, Ghost Rider, and Venom. All 3 of them.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a stack deck.
That's something.
You guys think the Sinister Six would be cool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless...
I think it would be, but they can't do it because they don't have enough characters.
Well, I would...
Marvel... Yeah.
Yeah, Sinister Six would be cool to do. It's just, yeah, they killed off a few of their characters.
And Marvel only does trilogies, so the next Spider-Man movie is the last solo Spider-Man movie.
Well,
unless they do like a team-up movie.
We'll have to see.
I mean, what they could do, because didn't they tease Cletus Cassidy or Carnage at the end of Homecoming?
At the end of Venom. They didn't. They teased Scorpion at the end of Homecoming.
Okay, because I was gonna say, because if they had Carnage, they could do him in place of Venom.
They could just buy Sony and then do Venom and Carnage at the same time.
They could. They could just buy the rights to all the Spider-Man villains and not have to worry about that.
Yeah.
The real villain in a Spider-Man movie is Sony.
Pretty much. All that's it. That's all the. That's all the Spider. That's the biggest
Marvel
Spider-Man
owns
villain.
all the lame villains except for like Mysterio.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Vulture's a lame villain to me.
Yeah, he's a good character, but not a very good villain. He's just a guy
Yeah.
with a vulture suit. All right. Next topic.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's a bit.
Let's see. Villainous
I know if it's-
Motivations.
All right. This kind of harkens back to Mysterio, but so reason he's a bad guy. I think his motivation is sound. It's just not reason enough for him to go and murder Spider-Man.
Yep.
That's pretty much the entirety of my argument.
Iron
people-
Man. Iron Man ruined my life, so I have to go and ruin his. Oh wait, he's already dead.
Yeah. See, the thing about him is, I get Vulture because Vulture had his job and like his entire construction crew's team of jobs pretty much taken out when Iron Man bought out damage control, and then he used it to pretty much clean up New York all by himself, which left Vulture out of a job. So he just had to. He just became a criminal. He had to become a criminal to support his family. That's
Mhm.
why he's a good character, not a good Spider-Man villain. And this guy Mysterio, he invented amazing technology with Barf, and then he got fired for like mental instability. He doesn't seem that unstable.
Mhm.
He's like, sure, he
Yeah.
threatens to kill one of his guys, but like that's every villain. Every villain threatens to kill one of their guys. You don't become a henchman without knowing that your boss could just randomly decide to kill you one day.
Right.
Unless you're like Bane.
Thing is, that guy doesn't die though. Like
No.
that he threatens, he doesn't die.
I think his motivation, I mean, because typically with villains, they kind of typically try to portray villains as crazy. So
It's
they'll
either
have
crazy
certain
or
motivation.
sympathetic.
Yeah. Like,
They didn't go too far enough into either category for him to
No.
be.
It kind of just gave him a stupid reason. Because, like, I'll read like a comic book, any comic book really, and like the villain will just walk up to somebody on the street and just shoot them for no reason. And that's the movie. You know?
Just walk up to someone on the street and shoot them for no reason.
I mean, that's their motivation. Villains can have these stupidest motivations for some reason, and that gives them the right to kill the superhero. Like literally, Joker could just walk on the street, shoot somebody, and be like, "Oh, now I gotta go kill Batman." Right? Same thing with like Spider-Man. Scorpion could, walk up on the street, punch somebody in the face, be like, "Well, crap, I gotta go kill Spider-Man now." You know, villain motivations make no sense at all.
Mhm.
Yeah, and neither does this one.
I mean,
Nope.
this one's a little bit better, to be honest.
It's
It's
a little
not the
bit
Well,
better.
worst.
sure, it's better than like Joker walking up to someone and just killing them and being like, "Gotta kill Batman now."
That's kind of what he does,
But-
though.
Yeah. It is. It's better than that. Mysterio's
Yeah.
motivation is, but in like all in all, it's just not. Even if you are unstable, I don't feel like that would be an. I guess maybe that's why he's considered unstable, is because he just goes off the rails, insane after he gets fired.
Mhm.
It doesn't make any sense either. Like we don't see why he was fired. Maybe if like we saw that he was fired because of something bad that he did, but he doesn't think it's bad, and that's why he's considered unstable, that would have been better.
Mhm.
I mean, his motivation, okay, but going back to what I said, it was pretty much like he wanted to kill Tony Stark because he named his invention Barf. Tony Stark
Yeah.
died in Endgame. And then he's like, "Well, Tony Stark's dead. I need somebody to kill for this, so I'm just gonna kill Spider-Man."
Yeah, and then he also wants to be the new Tony Stark. He also
Yeah.
wants to be the new Tony Stark, which doesn't make any sense. I don't get
No.
that at all. He's not built up to be like a pretend hero, and he's he's also not built up to be really that bad of a guy. Or he doesn't, like, besides being manipulative, sure, but I feel like he'd be a cool dude to hang out with. I don't know if that makes me evil or anything, but like,
Until he uses his illusion tech to experiment on you.
I mean, that would be. I just wouldn't move. Just don't move. You're fine. There you go.
Or like if you know enough about him, just don't believe it.
In the
just don't believe
illusions?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
to, like,
Oh.
stop his illusions.
Well, here's the thing about the illusions. He still has the guns.
Oh, that's true. He does have the drones.
The
Eh,
drones
weird
are
little thing about
weaponized.
The drones have, it appears to, from what we see, a laser cutter, a minigun, and rocket launchers. So how did they create like the accurate destruction?
The
and not drop all the bullet casings.
they also have the like the sonic boom thing.
Oh, that's
as well.
true. That's true. That's probably how they do all the building destruction. Stuff.
Yeah, they have
Right.
that. If you noticed in the movie when they're at the bridge, right near the end with the
Oh yeah, he
the
gets,
giant
blasted
fake
with, like, 4
elemental.
of the things.
If you look, the ones that are underwater blast at the side, and that's what breaks the side of like
Oh, I
a
didn't notice
footpath. Yeah. And then they also brought in that when they're in the vault and they are cut when it's cutting the door, it also uses that to get rid of that little square.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice. I don't think I noticed that then. That makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But back to Mysterio's motivation. So he wants to be the new Iron Man. And you know what's a fun scene is after he gets permission to like control E.D.I.T.H, he just starts like making toast to everyone in that whole bar for just doing random stuff. It's like, thanks to Tim for the amazing recordings, and thanks to Marsha for the amazing Mysterio suit, and for Linda for designing the storyline, which, by the way, was insane, and I don't believe they bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that.
I just read that part where, like, at the end, Mysterio is just sitting there fighting Spider-Man, and he's like, Marsha's just like, so you still want the cape, right? And he's like, yes, I still want the cape.
Yes, I still want the cape. I could be meeting the Queen of England. I'm gonna need that cape. Yeah, that's fun. He's a fun villain, fun dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
He does go a little off the rails at the end, to be honest. Though he just tells E.D.I.T.H to go at it, even though he does get shot.
Yeah.
So
He should have just like used his illusion tech. Just
well, he
cloak
sort of
everything
did.
around Spider-Man, but don't attack Spider-Man, so you don't make his spider sense go off, and just run. Just like hop on a drone and escape.
Well, he tried to cloak because once he got shot, he used an illusion to hide himself. But then again, he still got shot. So
No, I'm saying before that, because
oh.
he cloaks like the entire area, the whole bridge area above the London Bridge in blackness with the drones, and so Spider-Man has to use his spider sense to get through all the drones and everything, which are like shooting and attacking him.
Yeah.
Why not just have the drones just sit there, just keep cloaking Spider-Man, but don't attack him? Because his Spider-Man sense only goes off when there's a threat around him. So if the drones aren't attacking, there's no threat.
Yeah.
And just escape with the drones. Just like cloak yourself and escape.
Yeah.
Like, it's absurd tech.
Yeah, I think he might have underutilized it a little, to be honest.
I'm just saying, if I was Mysterio, I would have won.
Mm-hmm. Right. I guess we're moving on.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
We got 8 topics left, halfway there.
Did we do Mysterio as a villain already?
Yeah, we did.
Shit. I guess we'll go.
No, we haven't. But
we haven't.
Like, we've pretty much done Mysterio as a villain.
Sure. So the actor's acting with Jake, whatever his name was.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yep, Jake Gyllenhaal's acting. Just go with that, because it almost landed on that. So
He's a very good actor. He's very good in this movie. His performance as Mysterio, like, he doesn't sell, like, he sold the character, but the writing with his motivations, as we just discussed, wasn't there to support his character.
How in the hell do you
The
spell
bar
his
scene,
name?
especially, I really liked. That was a very fun scene.
That was a fun scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame that's when I ran to the bathroom. No, I still saw most of it. So
Janice from accounting for covering all our dirty tricks up for hours or whatever.
yeah, he was pretty good throughout.
And then the parts when he's trying to be like fake emotional with Peter on the rooftop before they go fight the fire elemental,
Mm-hmm.
pretty good.
Yeah.
And then when he's like, Peter, when you're the smartest person in the room, own it. Don't cover it up.
Mm-hmm. Don't be apologetic for being the smartest in the room. I
Yeah.
think that's what he said.
Yeah.
The only times he wasn't convincing, of course, was near the end, because that's when he was starting to panic. You know,
Exactly.
as a
It's like-
character, he did a really good job at portraying like what was happening in the character's head, like
Yes.
what was going on. Like near the beginning,
he
it was
responded to the situations in the movie as the character would in that world.
yeah, it was really convincing. There wasn't anything stilted at all. Of course, that's Marvel, you know, getting good actors for the parts too.
Just get every single good actor, and then just leave like Keanu Reeves or something. I don't know. Maybe they'll buy up him. He'll be Adam Warlock. There you go. He can be Adam Warlock.
No.
Could be Century.
He could be. They'd have to dye his hair blonde or make him wear a wig.
Yeah, but like he did a very good job in this,
Yeah.
and I did like how he portrayed the character shift through the movie. You know, it was just like really convincing throughout. I did like his acting. It's very nice.
And then he slowly shifts. He's like, I don't know how his henchman's like, all right, decloaking the drones. I don't know how you're gonna spin this one, boss.
Then he just
Mysterio's
goes,
like, I have a plan.
and then it just
Right.
falls apart.
Technically, it didn't. Technically, it didn't in the end credit scene.
Oh yeah. Everything still went good.
That was probably like his plan B if he died.
Yeah. I didn't even have. When did he record that? It wasn't even
It must
shown.
have been when he was cloaked after he got shot.
Probably. No, because he picked up Edith after he died. Because I remember Spider-Man picked up Edith and said, stop all those strikes. Right?
Yeah, but his team can just like tear out the part of Mysterio where he's just talking to the camera, tear out the background, and just put in the background of Spider-Man saying, execute them all.
Oh, that's true. Alright. Yeah.
Next topic?
Sure thing.
Yeah.
A 10 out of 10 acting, I must say.
Yeah, I would live. He's a very good villain. Jake Gyllenhaal makes a very good villain.
We're gonna be spinning this like 3 times to get one I haven't gotten yet.
We have 6 left.
We already did that one.
Yeah.
We already did that one too. Fucker. Alright,
Yep.
whichever one is closest. Tony's Deadly Drones.
Tony's drones. This also goes back to Tony's fleet of drones. Why does he have a fleet of killer drones? What situation are those going to be useful in? Like, any supervillain is going to have a deterrent to that. And, like, where was that during... Did he, like, send that into space after Infinity War or after Avengers Endgame? Like,
No
where
clue.
was that in Avengers Endgame? That could have been so useful. You have an army of drones flying around in the final battle, just killing everyone. So useful.
Yeah. It's just that I don't know where it came from. It must have been sometime between yeah, it's confusing where it came from. Unless he sent it up with like something else and it's just been sitting there not utilized the entire time. Maybe no, was it a different satellite from the Hulkbuster satellite? Could have been different.
Yes, it is. It's a different satellite.
It is. Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, to be honest, it's very confusing where that came from. Like, no one, it's not explained in the movie at all. Not who the fuck knows where it came from. It's just drones, and of course, yeah, they could have used them in earlier movies, like very much so. Like if they had that shit during Endgame or Infinity War, that would have put them in a massive ass advantage, especially during like the massive war parts in both Infinity War and what is it, Endgame, where they're fighting the massive ass armies. They could have definitely used those. It would have been like such a good advantage for them. And apparently, it's only in this movie they exist.
Either
It's
that or something like the tower shot it off at the end game.
Yeah.
not
Well,
sure.
that's why I'm saying Tony Stark is still alive because a scroll died in Endgame.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe that was the scroll on Earth. Like at the end of Avengers: Infinity War in the post-credit scene, where Nick Fury like calls Captain Marvel. Maybe that's the scroll.
Yeah, because he's been chilling on the ship this entire time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's just it's stupid where they came from. Like they're just out of nowhere. Edith hasn't existed before this movie either, I don't think. So
No.
No. I'm not aware.
so yeah.
All right, next topic.
Yup.
Some of these aren't gonna be as long.
Just it'll come eventually. Let's see what we got. Oh, okay. The Snap students. The blip
So
shit.
this is a fun one. Just a quick little one. So all this also explains in universe kind of how they go about the 5 years between 2018 and 2023 in Avengers Endgame. So the way they do it is everyone who was snapped goes back to their life beforehand, and everyone who's now 5 years older also goes back to their life beforehand. So anything they had before is what it's like. So there's in the movie there's like this secondary antagonist who's also trying to hook up with MJ, and there's a love triangle between what's this guy's name? I think it's Brad. It was between Brad, Peter, and MJ, and he's just trying to hook up with her, and he's like this 21-year-old who was like a 16-year-old little shrimp beforehand.
I think they explained it. He was in middle school before, but now he's in high school.
Yeah.
He used to be like this
weird.
little wimp, and now he's like the hot shot.
The hot shot macho man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, they did a good job explaining the blip, if you will, or the snap.
I don't know why they called it the blip. Like,
no,
even in
that must
universe,
have been.
I don't get it.
Okay, no, for anyone, like I get for the general public of the universe, like the blip sort of makes sense, like because not everyone knows it was a snap, you know.
True.
Except for the Avengers that were there.
The Avengers would have to tell people what happened, though.
Well, no one knows what happened. The Avengers didn't tell them. No one told them. They just vanished. That's just what happened.
Yeah, but why would the Avengers not tell people?
I'm not sure.
Who snapped them all away?
I don't know why.
Because the Avengers would be blamed for it.
Oh, probably.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
And then superheroes would be outlawed, and we have the Incredibles. Wait a minute.
Wait.
No, they tried that with Civil War. Civil War didn't hold for very long. All right.
I just yeah. I just don't like the fact how they got snapped 5 years into the future. They come back and they're making them redo high school.
Yeah, that's annoying. It's like we were in it was near second semester, and we had already done our tests, and now we have to start over from the beginning.
This is dumb.
We came back and they want us to redo high school.
Yeah, on the school news at the beginning.
Yeah.
Actually, they weren't there because Doctor Strange held everybody in a dimension.
Sure, it was the Soul Stone.
Yeah, we'll call it that.
The Soul Stone.
They technically died. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Anyone? Okay. Next topic. Pretty sure we have 4 left.
Nick Fury on vacation.
All right. This is the second post-credit scene. Everyone. Nick Fury and Maria Hill on Earth are revealed to be Talos and his wife from Captain Marvel, who are Skrulls, and that is why it was so easy for Mysterio to convince them that he was a good guy. And the real Nick Fury is actually on a Skrull warship in space, relaxing. And then, like, he gets out of his chair. He's like, all right, guys, time to go to work. Where are my shoes and whatever.
Yeah, the ones on Earth told him to come back. They'd just been like, "Yo, where you at?"
They like phone him on their on
Yeah.
FaceTime and are like,
Where you at, B?
FaceTiming Nick Fury, like, so what you doing? What's up?
yeah, that's fine. And
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna explain, like, they have to explain at least at what point the Skrulls took over Nick Fury and Maria Hill's job.
Mm-hmm.
Because it could have been before Avengers Infinity War, for all we know.
Well, as far as we know, still Maria Hill is dead.
That's true. That's true. Because she wasn't revealed to be on the ship with Nick Fury.
No. So as far as we know, every Shield member that we've seen, except for Nick Fury and maybe like Happy, are dead.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
like obviously Coulson died in Avengers 1, made an appearance in Captain Marvel, but even then he's still dead. You know, Maria Hill, I don't think we saw her come back in Endgame. Maybe at the end of the movie if she was at the funeral, but I don't think she came back. I don't think Hawkeye's wife did either, even though Hawkeye's wife is Mockingbird, I believe.
Not sure.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know that much about Hawkeye comics.
Yeah.
Anything else on this topic?
No. Nothing really. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
3 topics left.
Easter eggs.
Easter eggs. We really already went over this. Just skip it.
Okay. What is the closest one?
We have MCU Spider-Man versus comic Spider-Man, or Spider-Man is outed. Pick one.
Let's just go MCU versus comic.
All right. So the MCU Spider-Man, he relies a lot on Tony Stark's mentorship. He pretty much doesn't have any responsibility because he's just told to do things and he pretty much does them, like by Nick Fury and Happy Hogan. And a lot of the things he do don't really have any big consequences except for the end of the movie, which is our final topic we'll get to in a minute. And then comic book Spider-Man, the biggest difference I think is just their situations. Comic book Spider-Man is not very put together. He's a college student. He always has money troubles. It's like he's hard to find a job. He can't keep a stable relationship. What'd you say?
He's always facing some sort of challenge.
Yeah, and it's not always like a super villain either. Sometimes it's just life getting in the way because it's life.
I mean,
and then
I
MCU
think
Spider-Man is just trotting along without a care in the world because he has his whole life set. Like he's an Avenger technically.
I think about going. I mean, like MCU Spider-Man. I mean, I like it. I like how he's portrayed, but he's like I think comic Spider-Man is portrayed a little bit better because he's a superhero. You know, you have to you have to save people. You know, it's part of your job. You got like you're gonna put people in danger. People you love are gonna be in danger. I mean, they showed that a little bit with Far From Home. They typically don't do that and this is what I don't like about superhero movies. Um, they don't show the superheroes like struggling like they do in the comics. Like superhero movies will show the hero always wins, right? And Infinity War, they kind of broke away from that a little bit. Like, hey, the superheroes lost and the world freaked out about it, right?
Mm,
Well, yeah, that's what happens. The heroes are going to lose. They can't win every fight, but they can figure out a way to win the next time. And the reason why, and the comic book Spider-Man has big shoes to fill. He's his own superhero. Everybody in New York knows him. Everybody relies on him. Everybody calls Spider-Man's name when they need help. You know, it's a big responsibility being a superhero. But the thing I like about the MCU Spider-Man is it kind of strays away from that, and it kind of shows the life of like, what if a kid had superpower, you know? And no, I'm
mm.
not talking about Brightburn. Talking about like a good, a kid that wants to do good with his superpowers. That's kind of cool. It's a lighthearted story.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Spider-Man is not a lighthearted character, believe it or not. His comics are
He
actually
has
pretty
so
dark.
many serious comics. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when Peter Parker grows up and becomes an adult.
Mm, like when he's in college and is forced to confront real life instead of just
When
being
Mary
like
Jane
a high
dies of
school kid.
cancer.
What?
When Mary Jane dies of cancer.
Oh my god.
Or when he takes no responsibility for his actions and makes a deal with the devil.
Yeah. To try and cure Mary Jane's cancer.
Yeah.
That she
Oh,
still dies from.
Oh yeah, the cancer from the spider. You know what?
Yeah.
From
I
his
mean, the thing
radioactive spider stuff.
I mean,
oh
cancer has
god.
killed a lot of Marvel heroes
I'm
like Marvel.
serious. I'm
That that's
serious
that's the
about that.
reason. That's the reason.
That's the reason she gets
Yeah.
cancer.
Uh huh. This is
We can
in a
talk about
Marvel
it later.
comic.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Oh god.
This is not a DC comic.
Oh
This
my
is a
god.
Marvel comic.
That's something.
Yeah, Spider-Man makes a deal with the devil to try and cure Mary Jane's cancer, but Mary Jane still dies of cancer.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it works out.
All right.
It's.
Uh,
Oh my god.
let's move on to our final
What's
topic.
what's the final one?
Spider-Man is outed. Perfect. We're ending on the end of the movie. All right.
I
So
guess we
in
could
the
think of it.
mid-credit scene, uh, it is revealed to the world that by Jana Jonah Jameson,
Yeah.
played by J.K. Simmons,
No.
as a nice little callback.
It was
What?
no, that it was revealed. No, it was revealed by Mysterio.
Oh yeah, revealed by Mysterio, who sends a video. One of his after he dies, one of his henchmen fakes a video of Mysterio being killed by Spider-Man, and in the clip shown by J. Jonah Jameson, not like explicitly the Daily Bugle because he's like in a CGI newsroom,
Mm-hmm.
but so it's shown by him that Spider-Man killed him, and then Mysterio's like, the real name of Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and then they show a picture of Spider-Man on this like giant billboard in the middle of Times Square or something.
And then of course they end it in on a perfectly cut what the fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spider-Man's like, oh,
What
his
the
face.
fuck? And then they cut.
Face.
Yeah,
It's dumb.
that's how they did it in the first movie.
Did they?
His mom, yeah, his mom walks in, or not mom, his Aunt May walks into him changing back into a Spider-Man costume. She's like, "What the fuck?" And then they cut to black,
Oh my god.
or they cut to the credits. Yeah,
Oh my god.
it's fun.
That's something.
Wait, is that
Yeah.
why his aunt knows that he's Spider-Man?
Yes, that's why she walked in on him changing out of his Spider-Man costume.
Oh my god.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing because they're obviously setting up for the third movie. Because
Oh yeah,
it's just one of those things where it's just like everyone's gonna know now, so it's like another, what is it? It's like everyone knows, and of course that one kid from his class is gonna be like, "What the fuck? This bitch is now Spider-Man." Isn't that interesting?
But presumably he's also going to be hunted as like a criminal.
Well, yeah, but because they set up at the end of the movie that Spider-Man is the reason why the drone strikes happened and all that. Apparently, is that what happened? Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah, that like he called all the drone strikes
Mhm.
on.
So yeah, he's gonna get hunted, but now people know. That's the other thing. The setup for the third movie is just probably Spider-Man defending himself. To be honest.
Against both like the people and the military.
Oh wait. Oh,
What?
Spider-Man Homeland Security. That should be the next one. That should
Spider-Man v Homeland Security.
versus.
The one of identity.
Oh my god. Spider-Man versus Homeland Security. That's the next one.
Spider-Man Identity Crisis.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Pretty fun.
Yep.
All right.
Anything else?
I don't really think so.
Okay. So.
Okay.
All right. We
you
done.
want to do recommendations? Last segment.
Yep.
All right. I'll go first. So I binge watched all of Stranger Things today, and Stranger Things season 3. That is. It's really awesome. The monster is awesome. The plot is awesome. It involves the Russians. There's like 3 different stories going all at once. It's really cool. Go watch it if you have Netflix. Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch.
Yep.
That's all I'll say. It's cool, and I don't want to spoil it because it's really good.
All right. Mr. Dark Knight. Got anything?
Anything cool? Read, seen, watched, or just recommend the movie?
No.
Although if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the movie,
Oof.
yeah.
I guess. Hang on, let me think of something real quick.
Sure
Okay,
thing.
Wolf,
I
think of anything?
recommend Spider-Man. Go see it a second time, just in case you haven't seen it the first time.
Yeah, give it some more money.
Yeah, just in case you didn't like it the first time, go see it a second time. I recommend it. It's a good movie. It's a pretty good movie. We had fun watching it. Yeah.
Cool.
Fun we had, yes. Many fun. He got my friend H over here got another broken chair.
Yep.
What?
This chair didn't recline
I
in the theater.
broken chair.
whatever.
Oh, in the theater.
In
Yes.
the theater.
Another broken chair after Detective Pikachu broken chair. Except this chair just wouldn't recline. The chair from Detective Pikachu, I imagine,
Like completely
was
broken.
caved in.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't sit in that thing.
Did you find something out there, Mr. Dark Knight?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I did.
What you got?
I recently just finished Justice League New 52. I'm not gonna recommend the whole series. Well, I probably should. Read it. It's good. Volume 1 is Origins. You can just watch Justice League War movie if you prefer that. It's pretty much the same thing. But then it goes into like the Amazovirus and Forever Evil. Am I missing something? Dark Side War. It's really good. It's an amazing series. I loved it a lot, especially being a Batman fan. There's a lot of great Batman moments. So
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty cool. Batman gets the powers of an actual bat in the Amazovirus.
Wow.
It's pretty funny. He becomes blind, and Superman's like, "Are you okay?" And Batman's like, "Well, I can see echolocation now."
Pretty much. That's how it would work with Batman.
Yeah. And so, I mean, they get to see Wonder Woman fight a bunch of zombified superheroes, so that was pretty awesome.
Nice.
So, all in all, it was a good run on the Justice League. Jeff Johns is an amazing writer. Can write any character need be, and it'd be good. This dude could write Ambush Bug, and it'd be like one of the best comics ever read. You know. Yeah, that's all for me.
All right. That's all we got.
Okay. Yep.
All right. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
All right.
Peace.
Okay. So, thank you guys for coming around. Thanks for sticking by. I'm gonna send you over to ODLC. Come send you over to him. Yes. So you guys have a good night. I'll be ending stream now. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoy what he's streaming.